Kevin, what did Kyle do to earn the distinction of starter on September 5th?
No, I think we go through an evaluation process like we do at every position, and at that position, that position just gets a lot more attention from media and from fans, and so that evaluation process is not one day. It's not a couple things. It's accumulated over a couple weeks. I kind of laid out. I laid out what our practice plan was over the last 2 weeks, from really 3 scrimmage opportunities, live scrimmage opportunities. Today was really getting into opponent preparation for the next couple weeks. So we had plenty of time to evaluate, and just like other positions, as I've said before, we got to start practicing to play other people, and today we did that.
How close was this competition, Kevin, and is it still ongoing?
Yeah, every position's ongoing at our place. So you play, and it's a competition-based program, and guys put themselves in position to earn time on the field, and guys continue to work to try to earn it, and quarterback's no different.
How did Kyle respond?
Good. We brought all the guys in, and talked to Jake, talked to Kyler, talked to Kyle, and just really told them, each one of them, situation. They're great guys, great competitors. They understand, and only quarterback. There's only one quarterback on the field, and in our offense there is. So it's unlike other positions where there's 3 linebackers or 5 linemen, and anytime that happens, guys are used to being that guy. But the important part is moving forward. How you're going to handle it in practice. You're one play away from playing, from unforeseen injury or something like that, or even how you work, how you prepare from here on out, is going to give us an idea of when you're ready to go in the game.
Was that today that you talked to them?
Yes.
And you talked about Kyle's reaction last year at this time. Can you just expand it all out? I mean, did you see a little bit more fire in Kyler, or what did
No, I mean, I think there was just a discussion. I think, everybody's read that about Kyle. So, he probably had read that before and decided he wasn't going to do that. So, yeah, no, it was a good discussion, and the discussion was about, basically how you handle things from here on out. What's your demeanor going to be at practice? Are you going to hang your head? Are you going to pout? Everybody's disappointed. If you're not disappointed, then we got the wrong guys. And Jake was the same way. So, those guys understand their role, but they want to play. And basically the message was, hey, listen, how you come out today, how you study, how you prepare, the game plan, and the game plan's coming up moving forward is going to be, you're going to tell us, not only that you want to play, but also that you're ready to play, and that's important.
How much better is Kyle now than he was 1 year ago at this time?
I think he's got a real sense of what everybody else is doing, if that makes sense. I know a lot of people would say, well, he's a quarterback, he should know that. And you guys have heard me, I don't care what the position is, as a first-year player, there's a learning curve, and it's the what to do stage. And then now he's worked at the how to do it over the course of the off season. We've challenged him, as you've heard me talk about, with leadership skills from January on. And so, I think his knowledge of the offense and his knowledge of defense, of schemes and blitzes, and it has certainly improved. So, translating that knowledge into the production is going to be important. I would say this, that I think because of his knowledge and because it has improved, he's a lot more relaxed in his operation right now than he was certainly at this time last year.
Same question we asked you at SEC Media Days. Any chance of playing 2 quarterbacks, or is that something you still consider?
Yeah, I'm not going to really talk about. Today was about, Kyle Allen and our team knowing, all right, here's where we're preparing. We'll see where that goes.
What about the rest of your travel team? I guess how good of a feel do you have for the rest of the guys who are going to be playing on Sunday?
We got a really good feel. Starting to move towards a two deep. Actually, we were working on that today, and starting to figure out who's going to get on the bus and go to Houston. And there's some young guys. Who's the key is who's going to redshirt, who's going to be really, really involved in special teams. That's what this week's about. Besides moving on to working on opponents, but really training some of our players, these young linebackers, as DBs, some of the skill guys that are on the fringe of the two deep, and figuring out where they're going to fit as far as special teams go, because of the depth of this league. And it's not necessarily games, as we've learned, 1, 2, and 3. These guys come into play from about game 5 on, and some of these young guys who aren't ready to play maybe right now have had in the past here vital roles coming down the stretch, playing 6 games, bowl games, things like that, 6, 7 games in special teams. And people say you burn the red shirt on a guy playing special teams. If he's a three-phase special teams player, he's playing 30 some snaps a game, which is a half, and that's significant. And the preparation involved in that during the week, which means he's traveling, he's working on our defense or offense. He understands game speed, he understands crowds, he understands pressure. That pays dividends down the road, I think.
What about the quarterback competition between Harvey and Brandon Williams?
The cornerback.
Coach Joseph's cornerback.
Okay.
Yeah, Coach Joseph.
I know we've been talking quarterbacks.
That was pretty
I was
close.
like, whoa, they're
I
playing?
wondered how the scrimmage went with those two.
Oh, they're good. I mean, Nick Harvey's had a great camp, and I think he is really, he has been the Nick Harvey that we've wanted him to be. He's a little bit more confident. He's more relaxed. Been really pleased with it, and so he's always had that talent. He just, for whatever reason, wouldn't turn it on, and when he did, it wasn't consistent. It's one of those deals where he had a good scrimmage, well, he had a good practice, well, he had another good scrimmage, and we're all waiting for him to go back to that Nick that last year. But he, so far he's been consistent, and Brandon has been too. So we've got real good competition still going there, and playing a team like Arizona State, who's going to present multiple formations, some up tempo, a lot of different receivers. There's going to be time for both those guys to be on the field.
What was the reaction by the guys when they went out to Kyle on Saturday for the scrimmage?
What's that?
The reaction by the players when they went out there for the scrimmage Saturday?
Oh, it's good. I was the last guy out there, so I kind of let them get out there, and they got out there as early as ever. I'll put it this way: they're in a heck of a lot faster tempo to get out there at Cal Field than they are to get out there at the practice field when it's the same temperature. So
Your
usually,
impressions of it. Your impression.
I thought everybody was excited. There's a lot of people looking around. It was kind of interesting. We had the parents were there, sitting in the south end zone, and then it was really kind of neat. We had SEC officials, a combination of SEC and Big 12 officials, and when I walked out there, they're all standing around looking up. So if we can get the officials to do that, hopefully we'll have the other team doing that too.
Kevin, other than that cornerback position, do you know what your starting lineup is, or do you still have several of them? So you do other than that position?
Pretty much.
Kevin, can we assume Keaton Sutherland's in that starting lineup?
We'll talk about that later. We got another week.
In terms of your schedule,
We got to figure out just because of who we're practicing right now, and that's why when you start getting reps to people that are going to play and play significant roles and play significantly, and that's why I've utilized this time frame for a while now, just because it's been successful, and it's gotten people ready to play for that first ball game, that whether they're first-year players or fourth-year players. So, yeah, we have to have a pretty good idea of who's in that two deep, and there will be some guys slide in and out, but maybe not many.
in terms of your schedule, I know it's still the SEC West, but things really always seem to kind of set up nicely for y'all in odd years. You're not even leaving the state until late October. Could you just kind of speak to the excitement of that in terms of the schedule, the way it sets up?
No, I know our players' parents are happy. They're not having to go very far, and for recruiting purposes, it's been. I think the big takeaway is, what we've talked to people about. Kyle Field now is going to be the finest collegiate football facility in the country, bar none. Just an incredible experience for our fans and for players. We're opening at NRG, which hosted the Super Bowl, which is another great facility. We go up to AT&T, which a lot of people say is the best football facility in the world. So it's not just that those games are in the state, but you're going to, from a recruiting and from a player and fan and parent standpoint, you're going to be in three of the best venues in the country to play the game of football, and that's hard to beat.
Coach, you want to announce the captain?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. All right, not via Twitter. I got my cheat sheet. I yelled out so many names today. All right, 2015 captains. Offense. You guys good? This is a scoop deal, huh?
Yeah.
I was gonna say you got
This is-
two deep
happy
ones.
happy
Pass those
birthday.
out.
How about
Thank
that?
you, Coach. I
Huh?
appreciate that. No place I'd rather be.
With 30 people.
You see, I just want you guys
wants
to all
it to
know
herself.
everybody wants everything to themselves. Offense, Jermaine Ifedi, Mike Matthews. Defense, Miles Garrett, Brandon Williams, and our special teams captain, Sam Miller, the 12th
Brandon
man.
Williams.
Yeah, as voted on by his teammates. That ought to tell you something.
Kate, last question.
Really fast, it's a different topic but relevant. With the SEC passing the rule in May about
Yeah.
banning transfers who had serious misconduct charges
Sure.
against them, were you in favor of that during those discussions? Do you have any concerns about actually implementing that?
I think what you're going to see is, I can't speak about anybody else, but I think what you're going to see is, more and more attention paid to not just transfers, but to domestic violence and sexual assault. And I think, our new commissioner brought that up as one of the first things one of the first actions that he's taken is to bring that to the forefront, talk to us about it. And there's some discussion in the league about what's coming down the road in terms of that. But certainly, our league's made a statement about transfers and conduct, and I don't think there's any coincidence that the National Football League's headed that way, and things are going to change. So, yeah, I don't disagree with our league's policy at all.